AITA for wanting to freeze sperm prior to a vasectomy? Wife is not having it. Labeled NSFW, just in case. I'll keep this short. I, mid-30s M, want to get a vasectomy, so I don't have to worry about getting my wife, mid-40s F, pregnant, and I like the idea of not pulling out. She's also mentioned I should get a vasectomy several times. We have one kid together, and she's 100% sure she doesn't want another child due to her age and the risks. I'm 95% sure I don't want another kid, even if we ever divorce. But, I don't like to use the word never, and am comforted by the idea of having insurance. In this case, insurance being frozen sperm in case I ever kick myself for making the wrong decision. A little more context, our marriage isn't the best. We have a long history of fighting, and in more recent years, with her often yelling divorce in my face. I take this to heart, and she says it's what she needs to say to get me to hear her. Not the approach I prefer, but it is what happens. I'm not perfect, she's not perfect, but we both try. Anyway, she supports the vasectomy idea, but becomes very offended when I mention that I may want to freeze sperm. I explain that we're frequently on the rocks in our relationship, and even if we weren't together, I'm nearly 100% sure I don't want to have another kid, but that I don't know what my future self might want if we did in fact divorce. Am I the a-hole for wanting to freeze sperm prior to a vasectomy? If so, why? And what would have been a better way to navigate the situation? Keep in mind that she doesn't get upset that I haven't wanted a vasectomy all these years. I just don't see the rationale, if she's been okay with me not getting one for years since it's been brought up. I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, I don't think I'm being unreasonable or keeping one foot out the door in the relationship. We just don't have the best track record, and she frequently mentions divorce in arguments. As of the past month, we haven't had any big arguments. Thanks in advance for any feedback. Edit. Thank you all for your input. Below, I'm going to write some more information to attempt to generally respond to many of the repeat comments I've seen. This is already a much larger thread than I thought I'd get, so thank you. All feedback is valuable. I do agree with the your body your choice comments. I just wanted to be open with her about freezing the swimmers. I still don't see the big deal. I know many of you think it's like having one foot out the door, I can totally see that, but I struggle with making such a permanent change in a not super strong marriage. Even if I'm mostly certain I don't want more kids. Chances are if we were doing great, I'd likely want to freeze it anyway, in case God forbid anything ever happened to her. I'd still have the mentality that I don't want to have more kids, but also you never know what life has in store for you. Analyzing and freezing sperm samples for 5 years is roughly $2,000. Not the most expensive life insurance policy. Reversals are expensive and not guaranteed. And sperm retrieval is expensive with potential negative side effects. Any potential future IVF treatment with frozen sperm would already have its own costs attached. Hoping I never need it either way. Also, I'd be paying for my own storage. As for the relationship, she grew up with parents that argued and yelled divorce, and they are still together and happily retired now. So somehow she thinks this is okay, and I've told her it's not. On the flip side, I didn't have a father growing up and my mom had 3 short remarriages. So naturally, I don't know what it takes to fight for a relationship. This has obviously led us to many disagreements and created more friction while navigating relationship issues. For context, our lives aren't usually miserable, and we do our best to not expose our 6-year-old to our arguments. Unfortunately, it has happened before though. Our kid is super happy and loving and our home is happy and nurturing. We do family things together and are still intimate with each other. We both love each other, and I'd say things are slowly improving over time. We don't have trust issues, for example she can use my phone if hers isn't nearby and vice versa. We share passwords, don't need to share each other's location, you get it. We've done counseling several times. Kinda helped, kinda didn't. Anyway, our main goal is that we improve and stay together for the long haul. For us and for our kid. One thing I forgot to mention is that she might be getting a somewhat sizable sum of money in the near future and wants to have a post-nup agreement to protect her assets. She's worked hard for it and I told her I have no issues with that. So, when I bring up freezing sperm and it becomes a sore subject for her, it does feel a bit hypocritical. Both situations could be seen as one foot out the door or in a more positive light, it can be seen as a responsible action or plan, for just in case we can't learn to live effectively with each other forever. I haven't brought this up to her yet, and will likely do so after Valentine's Day. I'd rather keep things light for now. Anyway, it's been insightful to read what a bunch of strangers on the internet think about the situation. Thank you again for your replies and best wishes.